Tech Talk.
Hi everyone, welcome to our new edition of Tech Talk. Today we're going to be talking about welders. We're going to make the difference between a high-speed welder and a conventional welder. So you hear it in the name, the high-speed welder is faster than the conventional welder. It will be working up to twice as fast as the conventional welder, but that's not the only difference between the two machines. So obviously, talking about speed, one of them uses servo motor to make all its movement, and the other one uses just a general movement, hydraulic movement. So the biggest difference between the two of them is that the pneumatic movement is going to be from a point A to point B, and then the machine has to do the whole movement, even though it doesn't need to open as wide for different profiles than others. The high-speed welder, it then will be only moving what it needs to be moved. So you're going to see a better cycle time for sashes than frame, because the head does not have to open as wide for a sash than it would be need for a frame. So you're going to see your all the movement being cut to a minimum, and you're also welding at a higher degree, so 300 degrees instead of 240, 250 on a conventional welder. So all that adding up will give you a much better cycle time. You're going to be talking about a 1 minute cycle, loading and unloading included, versus just about 2 minutes on a conventional welder. But that's not the only difference between the two machines. One of the main difference between them, and the one I like the most, is the precision of the machine. I'm going to use my example of a square that you want to be 1000 millimeter square. So you're going to need parts that are 1006. What if you don't have those 1006 millimeters parts? If you have a 1007 for the example here, on a conventional welder, your machine is going to open to 1006. The 1007 will fit in there, but the welder is going to push on it. So it's either going to be affecting your heat plates at some point, the square of the machine at some point, or your window will be bending. It's not something you're going to see from an eye, but when you're going to come to times to put the glass in, put the screen in, and things like that, it's where you're going to have the smallest issues. On the high-speed welder, the way it's going to work is the machine will know, because we're working with encoders, so it will know that it's a 1007 square, so it will take the decision on burning off more, or if you have 1005, burning less material to go to your 1000 square. The machine also has some data in it that will allow it for you to go in and know that you've been cutting too long, cutting too short all day. And we're going to be setting some frames there, where if it's let's say 1 millimeter too short, you're still going to use it. But if it's 2 millimeters too short, you want your employee to be aware. You want him to tell the manager. So you're going to have something on the screen that pops up and stop the cycle there if your part is too short, or if it would be way too long. We're not going to be welding it. So that's the main difference between the two, the conventional and the high-speed welder. Price-wise, you're not talking at twice as much. So even though if you're looking at a production that doesn't necessarily require the speed of a high-speed welder, I would still talk about the high-speed welder for the precision side of the welder, because it's not twice as much on the budget. I would always recommend this one first. I think the name gives it a bad perspective, because we're talking speed, but really it's precision. So if I would have to be renaming it, I would say high precision welder versus conventional welder. So that would be my go-to if you were asking me where should I go for my next investment. So that covers the welders very quickly. If you have more questions, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you have more questions for our tech talks that you want us to cover, make sure you send them to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Tech Talk.